I want your vote, so I'm going to keep this short. Look, here's the deal. I don't have a primary opponent. My campaign starts in earnest after the primary in August, after August 10th. That's when we'll come out with guns blazing. We're well set up. We've got the issues. We know what we're doing, and you will hear a lot about us. Many of you don't have any idea who I am or what my background is or why I'm running. So I'm going to tell you a couple of things, and unlike Keith, I'm not afraid to brag. Let me start by saying I'm one of 13 children, born of immigrant parents on a small family farm. And the reason I say that is we were brought up to believe that we could do anything that we wanted to do. We had self-reliance. As a result, whether it's as a result of it or not, the end result is that 12 out of the 13 children became successful entrepreneurs. There were two edicts, again, that my father impressed on us very, very strongly. That if you owe it, pay it. If you don't have the money, don't buy it. I can tell you, and I'm very proud to say, that I have never borrowed a nickel for a new car, I've never had a credit card balance. The only thing I borrowed money for was a house. And that I considered an investment. But I'll also add that it's very rare that I bought a brand new car. So I think those core values have served me well in my career. The next question is what makes me qualified to run for county commissioner? Well, let me tell you a couple of things that I've done. And one thing that I'm very proud of that has nothing to do with the qualifications, but I thought you ought to know it. I was a captain in the United States Army. I did serve in Vietnam. I was an airborne kind of guy. But the thing that makes me even more proud is at the same time I was serving as a volunteer, two brothers also served as volunteers. I'd say that we were rather patriotic. And that was important to my parents. Even though they worried stiff, they did not try to stop us from volunteering because it was important to them. Why am I running? I can tell you that in every community in which I have lived, I have become involved. I have become involved either in planning and zoning, I have become involved in raising money through United Way, I have become involved in all sorts of aspects of the community. And the big winner in that, it was me. And the reason I was a big winner is that when you get involved in your community, not for the purpose of economic gain, you are really the one that benefits because you become a full-fledged citizen of your community. And I think that's important. It was important to me anyway. What have I done in my life that prepares me for this office? Well, one of the things that I have done is I've worked for large corporations and I've worked for medium-sized corporations. I've always been in the executive management level. I started with CF&I. I was a land manager controlling 500,000 acres in 11 different western states. I was entrusted with the management of those acres, whether it was leasing to ranchers, mining coal on it, timbering, whatever it was, buying, selling, and managing the acreage. What are the main issues? Well, I can tell you what one of them is, and that's our runaway spending. Historically, Pueblo County has been on a very even keel. They've always had money to spend. They never spent more than their revenues and went about their business. As a matter of fact, Pueblo County was sort of an envy because they had good reserves, stayed within their budget. Let me show you something. In 2007, the budget, general budget, was revenues of $62.1 million, $60 million in expenditures. Along comes my opponent, okay, first budget he had any control over. $62 million worth of revenues, $70 million spent. In 2009, a little bit of a decline, not much, $61.4 million, $68.6 million in expenditures. Let's go to the 2010 budget. They're thinking it's going to be better, so now we're up to $63 million worth of revenues, 76 million in expenditures. A swing in 3 years. 3 years of $28 million. When they took over, there was a budget, there was a reserve account, a savings account, if you will, of $16 million. That $28 million has taken us to $12 million in the hole. Okay? That should astound you. The only way that we are still afloat is through borrowing. We have borrowed $25 million on top of $11.5 million for the county health department, and the 2010 budget calls for another $4.5 to $5 million worth of borrowing. We started with a $20 million debt in 2007. It's $55 million at the end of 2009. That should startle you. Let me talk a little bit about judgment and leadership. Anybody here familiar with the ice hole?
Yep.
Some of the county employees call it Furlough Hill. In 2007, there was a place, a location down by the, on Thatcher Avenue. It was the ice house, and it burnt down, okay? And some of the asbestos melted into the ground. In early 2008, the Colorado Health Department said, this is a contaminated site, hazardous waste, put forth a cease and desist order. The city considered buying it. They saw the contamination, said, we're not getting in front of that train. Vera, you can acknowledge that. However, along comes our leadership in the county and says, we'll take it, we'll take it. So they made a deal with the private owner at that time that they would buy the property. Okay? The private owner was supposed to mitigate it. He mitigated up to $400,000 and then said, I'm not going any further. Here's the property, Mr. County. And the county says, we'll take it. Guess who's now right smack and dab in the middle of the mitigation of that site? We didn't need to be there. There's no requirement to be there, but we did. We as a county, with your dollars. $8.8 million ago, we started cleaning up that site. $8.8 million. That's the kind of bus he threw us in front of. And it still isn't clean. It may someday become a parking lot. I say, I'll wrap it up right now. I say that if you're talking about leadership, if you're talking about someone asleep at the wheel, if you're talking about someone watching, guarding the hen house, if you will, watching for your dollars, then I think I'm more qualified to do that than your current county commissioner. If my message resonates with you, if you believe what I'm telling you, by the way, these aren't my numbers. This comes directly out of the county budget. I didn't make these numbers up. Check the budget. If my message resonates with you, then I'm your guy, if you believe what I'm telling you. Losing this election is not really a good option, because losing it tells the county culture, the county courthouse culture, that overspending is okay. Borrowing is okay. Lack of leadership, lack of judgment, that's all okay. And I'm telling you that it's not. Thank you very much.